Hi guys, it's Bazza here from Living in Beta. Today we have another Gamer's Glance for you, this time looking at the newly released Stray, developed by Blue 12 Studio. We'll be giving our initial impressions, likes and dislikes, as well as a recommendation towards the end. Welcome to the dystopian future of Stray. Before going any further, let's get a bit of context. Stray puts us in the mind and body of a wandering tabby, roaming the world which nature looks to have reclaimed. You adventure out with your ragtag group of fellow strays before a short leap off a creaky pipe ends in a long drop for our playable furball. After waking up, you push on to find yourself in a city all but forgotten by time. Adventuring further in, you'll be hunted by the game's enemies, the Zergs. Swiftly avoiding certain death with the help of TVs and neon signs guiding you forward, you eventually meet your companion, B12, a friendly AI who will help you to decipher the world around you. From what we've played so far, the story is set up as a mystery to be slowly unravelled. Your initial information is limited to a city of AI-controlled robots, a deadly organic plague of creatures, as well as a yearning to return to the surface. How this city came to be, what the creatures' purposes are, as well as what happened to humankind is down to you to uncover. You're able to explore your surroundings to discover clues which can then be deciphered with the help of B12, as well as to chat to NPCs to understand more of the dystopian world you find yourself in. With this type of narrative, the less that's revealed before playing, the better. The game's well-realised atmosphere helps to immerse you in the world Blue 12 have built here. You'll adventure across the ramshackle rooftops, peering below at the well-worn streets, with the fluorescent light bathing the sprawling haven you find yourself in. Contrasting with this is the infested outer limits, with Zergs scurrying over the remains of civilization, desperately trying to chow down on your furry friend as their next meal. It's clear a lot of effort went into ensuring the environments were visually interesting, and it certainly pays off. Moving on to gameplay, Stray is mainly a puzzle adventure game, and as such, you can expect to be parkouring your way around obstacles, as well as interacting with the environment to open a path in order to progress. The puzzles, whilst not complex, provide a decent sense of reward once solved. An example was early on, where a dry cleaners was inaccessible to me. Adventuring onto the roof, you find two characters throwing paint cans across the rooftops to each other. By meowing just as the can is thrown, one of the characters will drop the paint can to the streets below. The resulting noise and mess will anger the owner of the shop, who will come outside to investigate. This then leaves the door open for you to sneak in, allowing you to nab a bottle of detergent which can be traded with the local marketplace wheeler dealer for some goodies. I used the controller to play Stray. The controls feel fluid for the most part. You'll be using the analog sticks, left for movement as well as right for the camera. The D-pad is used to access different facets of B12, such as the flashlight or your inventory. The triggers are dedicated to a camera zoom as well as sprinting, whilst finally the face buttons will be used for jumping, interacting with the environment, and most important of all, meowing. The only issue I had with the controls were during jumping sections. For the most part, they worked well, however there were times when they felt slightly clunky, with you being stuck on a surface until you position the camera just right to trigger the jump prompt for the next surface. I do however fully appreciate why a fixed prompt was added to the jumpable surfaces, given the design of the game's world. Overall, the controls and gameplay work well together, feeling smooth and enjoyable. With performance, there's not much to say here. It seemed rock solid on my PS5, running at 4K 60 frames per second. There aren't really any options for graphics tweaking on the console versions, outside of things like gamma. I didn't encounter any slowdowns, stutter or glitches in my first couple of hours of gameplay. This could of course change once I've completed the game, but for now, Stray gets full marks. The last section to cover is price. Stray clocks in at around 5 hours on the first playthrough. Of course this will vary depending on if you beeline for the ending, or take your time exploring and looking for items. £24.99 on PlayStation, or around £21.59 in the current Steam promotional offer. This seems a tiny bit on the expensive side given the game length. However, there are options to grab the game quote-unquote free. PlayStation is currently offering a 7-day free trial for the premium tier of PS Plus, which allows you to access Stray. Once the timed exclusivity deal runs its course, I also imagine we'll be seeing Stray on Xbox Game Pass as well. To wrap things up, for those who are new here, we use a unique system for our recommendations. This from worst to best is Keep the Receipt, a game which failed to live up to expectation and isn't worth playing. One Night Stand, a game which could be worth a dabble if there's nothing else in your backlog that takes your fancy. Frequent Fallback, a game which is decent enough to return to once you've finished playing your most anticipated titles. Pull a Sickie, a game which is so good it's worth the guilt of faking illness to get a day off work. And finally, Book a Week Off, a game that's so great you need to sacrifice a week's annual leave to satisfy your urge to binge this beauty. With that said, Stray gets a very respectable Pull a Sickie, a unique adventure with a fantastic art style as well as a rich, well-realised atmosphere. Blue 12 have really done themselves proud here. Well guys, that's our thoughts and initial impressions on Stray. Let us know in the comments if you're going to or have already picked up Stray. If you enjoyed the video, drop us a like and subscribe if you want to see more. As always, I'll catch you in the next one.